Hi, everyone. Joe the Fan here with Shane O'Mac from Just Win Bets, baby. We are here to talk about, of course, the Big 12. College football is just around the corner, and we're going to break down the win totals for these teams. We're going to focus on the first four are the odds-on favorite to win the Big 12. Shane, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Let's start with, of course, Arizona State, which is one of the odds-on favorite. You can see it, folks, right there on your screen. Courtesy of our friends over at DraftKings, they have the win total at 8.5. The over is at minus 105. The under at minus 115. The graphics, of course, courtesy of our friends over at Ola Comics. And here comes the breakdown of the Arizona State. Currently at 550 to win the whole enchilada there, Shano. They have, of course, Mississippi State, Baylor, TCU. That is a new logo there on October 11th. That is, of course, the Utah University right there. Texas Tech. Houston, Iowa State, West Virginia, Colorado, and Arizona to round that out. Your thoughts on Arizona State?
Pretty tough schedule for them. Over 8.5. I kind of like the over there. It's not super tough. I think they can get away with some. I think Baylor's going to be tough. Utah's tough. Iowa State could be tough sometimes.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
I think they definitely win the first three games. I don't think Mississippi State is going to even, I don't even think they get off, they don't think they go back in the locker room.
And Mississippi State's pretty bad.
Yeah. I think Arizona State gets off the bus, looks at them, and then they just say, okay, hey, we're done, and get back on the bus because it's just, there's no challenge. It's like Clubber Lane in Rocky 3. I reject the challenge because Mississippi State is no challenge. So I think those three games are definitely a winner for Arizona State. In regards to Baylor, it's at Baylor. So that is, of course, at Waco. That is something that's a toss-up. TCU, again, that depends on what happens in the first week, but see how the rust flies off there. But TCU should be pretty good there. So that'll probably be a good close game. I don't see 9 games here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 8 wins. I don't see them winning 9.
Yeah. The odds match how even this is. That's a pretty good line there at 8.5.
Yep.
Because you can see it's minus 105, minus 115. It's pretty even. It's not like it's like some of the, like when we did the SEC, like a lot of the overs were like minus 125 or minus 130. So like they kind of like assume that it's probably going to hit over when he sees odds like that, This one's pretty even, so it's pretty good odds on there. Slight favorite to the under, so I could see that. Yeah, 8. Yeah, I agree with you. Baylor's going to be tough at Baylor. I think they'll probably lose that one. But yeah, those first 3 games, they're not going to lose those for sure.
Yeah, I think you take it to the bank about those first 3 games there. Folks, on the screen, you can see, of course, the AP Top 25. Again, the guys at the studio has been working very hard, and you can see the ticker right there on the bottom, 1 through 25. And then, of course, this weekend's games, you can catch our picks for Thursday and Friday on one of our videos there. And we're going to be covering really soon the weekend games for week 1 there for Friday and Saturday, including maybe a possible Monday night with Belichick. Let's move on there, Shana, to Texas Tech, another odds-on favorite to win it all. Currently, Texas Tech, just like Arizona State, at plus 550 to win the whole thing. The current odds here to total wins is at 8.5, courtesy of our friends over at DraftKings, over at minus 144, under at plus 118. So again, very similar to Arizona State. I don't even think these teams get off the bus. They got 3 home games right there. One of them being Kent State. They should be better, but against Texas Tech, I don't even think they get off the bus. Oregon State as well. But they have Utah. Utah is very, very good this year. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Houston, Kansas, Arizona State, which we just talked about, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, BYU, UCF, and they rounded out with West Virginia. What's your thoughts for this one?
I think it's an easier schedule than what Arizona State had.
Yeah.
I could see that. I think they can get the 9 wins here. I can see why the over is favored. I think Arizona State away at Arizona State is going to be tough. Utah at Utah is going to be tough. But outside of that, I could see them winning pretty much every game here.
Yeah, I think they win the first 3 games, as you and I just stated there, but it is a guaranteed lock. I think you put the pizza money of producer Mark, the franchises, on October 25th when they host Oklahoma State. I don't even think that, I think that's a win right there.
Oh, for sure. The Oklahoma State's not supposed to be very good this year. And I think, Texas will blow them out.
Yeah, and not to mention BYU. So if you can get 9.5, I would entertain that, because you win 3 here. Oklahoma State and BYU, that's 5. Kansas, I think they beat at home. West Virginia, they beat. So that's 7 right there, Shano. It's going to be Kansas State, and they definitely beat UCF.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that's 8 right there.
Yeah, like the only two the toughest games they have are Utah and Arizona State, and because they're both away for Texas Tech.
Yeah,
that's going to be a struggle for them. Outside of that, though, I think I kind of like going over 9.5. I think they can get to 10.
Yeah. Bettors look at that one, and see how you guys like that. Check around your local books for that and see if you can get 9 or 9.5. Definitely 9. If you can get 9 at minus like 100 or minus 110, minus 110 or 105, I would hop on that quick. But if you can get plus money at 9.5, I put a little pizza on that.
Yeah, I would too. I put a little pizza on over 9.5 for sure. I'm trying to log in onto an app here and see it. I'll come back and update you here in a second once I get it. I think that's a much easier schedule than Arizona State, and that might come into play too when you're looking at who's going to win the conference.
Sure, and especially, I'm not calling them playoff contenders, but if you have a 10 win team here, I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, if you got 10 wins and you're probably going to win this conference with 10 wins, and then you're making the playoffs if you're winning the Big 12.
Sure.
So, yep.
Sure. Let's now move to the Utes of Utah, and there's your schedule right there. This is another odds-on favor. So the first 2 that we mentioned there, Shana, was plus 5.5, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings, Arizona State and Texas Tech. Here's Utah right here at plus 650. So not that much of a difference there. But here's their schedule. Again, it looks like a clean sweep in the first 3 games. At UCLA, they've got Wyoming as well. So those 3, it looks like a clear shot there, man. Then they host Texas Tech. That's going to be a toss-up. I mean, that's going to separate, the men from the boys, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They beat West Virginia. There's no question about that. Arizona State, again, they're hosting Arizona State. So, again, if they can win 1 out of the 2, you got a shot here. BYU, Colorado, which I don't think it's going to be that great either. Cincinnati is, as we talked about before, is god-awful. Baylor is, but it's at Baylor. So, again, that's tough. K-State and, of course, Kansas. 8.5 over at minus 144, under at plus 118. I don't think they get under this.
No, I'm hammering that over there for sure. Like you said, Baylor's going to be tough. And then Texas Tech, both of those. I think that's kind of a coin flip there against Texas Tech,
right?
And that was like what week 4?
Texas Tech at week 4. Yeah,
week 4. So yeah, I think I'll take the over for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they lose to Texas Tech. They destroy West Virginia at their own house, and then it's going to be all right. It's time to put up or shut up, as you say, sir. In regards to Arizona State, and then they have a long run here. BYU, Colorado, and Cincinnati. That should all be wins because you have 2 out of the 3 that are home. And then you end up with K-State and Kansas. It's that BYU game at Baylor. It's going to be the difficult one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I can easily. I think the over hits here though, for sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, pretty easy schedule. It's kind of crazy, like the difference between like when we did this for the SEC and the ACC, like how they've been scheduling a lot of big out of conference games, but so far we're looking at these schedules and there's not crazy out of conference games. Like they're not playing anybody in like the top 20 or so.
Right.
At least these first couple teams.
Yeah. I mean, you had again throughout this whole thing with UCLA, you had Wyoming. And they're getting covered because, you know, it's these big schools and you got the networks that's going to cover college football, and it's definitely Big 12. So of course, why not? Why not cover that?
Oh yeah.
Another one that I wanted to look at, of course, is we talked about it, was Baylor. Baylor is a team. Let's pull that up for the folks at home. Their win total is at 7.5. Their odds at plus 650. This is an interesting one because if you look at the odds there, Shano, over at minus 112, under at minus 108, it's a toss-up. It's clearly a toss-up. But look, they start off on August 29th against Auburn. You picked this early. You're saying Baylor money line because they're a dog here, right?
Yeah, I like that. We talked about that in our picks last night. We posted them for the Thursday night games coming up here, Thursday and Friday night games. And yeah, I'm not huge on Auburn this year, and I think Baylor's got them. So I think Baylor wins that week 1 for sure.
So again, if that's the case, it looks like a clear shot here. Be careful with SMU though. That's the thing that it just kind of scares me. It looked like, you know, they're at SMU on this, you know, week 2. So that's going to be a good game. I think they don't even, I don't think they even start anybody in week 3 with Samford, right? But then they have Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, TCU, Cincinnati, UCF, Utah, Arizona, Houston. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, SMU is supposed to be pretty good this year. They're over under based on the Vegas lines or at 8.5.
Yeah.
So I mean, so that's telling you that the Vegas regards them pretty highly. So that's going to be a tough game for sure at SMU, and it's at SMU.
Yeah.
So that makes it even tougher.
Yeah. So they host Arizona State. So that is something, you know, if they get by SMU, then hey, it's going to be, you know, maybe a 3-0 versus 3-0. Taking on Arizona State at their own house in Waco. Then they travel Oklahoma State, Kansas State. That should be 2 easy wins there. Maybe not Kansas State, but mostly definitely Oklahoma State. TCU, it's another team that is like, they're somewhat in contention. Then you have, of course, Cincy.
They should destroy Cincy.
Yeah, and then UCF as well. So, but the last 2 games should be a cakewalk for them because they have Arizona and Houston. So that should be a cakewalk. It's the Utah.
Yeah. But they have Utah at home too, which is beneficial.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's tough. 7.5 wins. So let's go through this to see what the losses are. So we already said they're going to beat Auburn. I'm pretty confident in that. I think it's going to happen coming up here soon.
Right.
In 2 days.
Right.
SMU is tough. That's the hardest one I think they have on their schedule.
Yeah.
SMU.
So maybe 1-1 right there, right?
Maybe 1-1, and then the other ones outside of that are ASU and Utah. So if let's say they lost all 3 of those, that gets you to 9-3, right?
Yeah.
So do you see 2 more losses on the schedule to get them below 7.5?
I don't see it. Maybe
I don't either.
Maybe TCU.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see them lose TCU. That'll get you 8-4.
Right.
And that still clears you over 7.5.
Yeah, that's squeaky.
So I like the over at 8-4. Sounds pretty good.
So 8-4 at minus 112. So those are clearly our 4. The odds-on favorite to win the whole Big 12 here. But let's go from the top there. We talked about Arizona State before. Let's go to Arizona real quick. And you can see Arizona at the odds total wins at at 5.5, over at minus 112, under at minus 110. With this schedule there, Shano, what's your thoughts here? Do they even make 6 games?
I think they'll beat Hawaii. Hawaii's not that great.
Right.
And the quarterback's banged up. Remember, he got hurt in the Stanford game last week. So that's beneficial for them. They'll beat them. They should beat Weber State.
They lose to Iowa State. I think Iowa State is pissed, and it's at Iowa State. So I don't even think, like I said, they show up to that one.
They'll lose Iowa State, I think, too. OSU, they could probably win. At OSU at home.
Yeah. BYU. Ooh, that's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. I think BYU's got them, but we'll see. Houston's not that great. Maybe Houston, but it's at Houston, so it's tougher.
Right.
Yeah, I don't getting the 6 here. I don't know if they can get the 6.
I don't think they get the 6. So we'll take the
I don't think they get the 6 either.
We'll take the under here at -110. Let's move on to BYU, my friend. There's the schedule right there. The total odds there at 6.5. Over is -132. The under at +108. I don't see them getting 7 wins here. They definitely beat Stanford and East Carolina.
Yeah, and they start off. I mean, their first 3 games are pretty easy there. They got Portland State.
Portland State, yeah.
That's the first one. Stanford's terrible. And then ECU. I see them going 3-0 starting off there. But then after that,
Colorado,
it's going to be tough.
Colorado, Dion, at Dion.
Yeah. We talked about a little bit about them last night with our picks.
Yeah.
Remember, they only have 3 returning starters on offense, so that's tough. I mean, that's going to be tough for them. I think they can beat. Yeah, man, this maybe Cincy they'll get another win. Cincinnati might get another win.
And UCF.
Arizona they could beat, like we were talking about.
Right.
UCF they could probably beat. Yep.
I don't see them getting to 7 though.
No, I don't see that either.
So we'll take the under at that at +108. Let's move on. Of course, we talked about Cincinnati. Cincinnati schedule's right here, friends. Win total at 6.5. Over at +128. Under at -158. They start off with Nebraska, Bowling Green. So they got 3 home games there, Shano, and then they travel to Kansas, home against Iowa State, UCF, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Utah, Arizona, BYU, and TCU at the end. Ooh, this is close.
I don't see them getting to 7 wins here. Nebraska, they're going to lose 2 week 1. Yep. That was my lean or my pizza money bet last night. Remember, it was Nebraska -6.5.
Yep.
So I think Nebraska wins that one.
Which technically, Shano, it's gotten down to 5.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we get on that right now.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I don't think the Cornhuskers are going to lose that one. Not at all. Bowling Green, I don't know much about what they're supposed to be this year. They can be frisky some years, but most years I think Cincinnati could probably beat them.
Yeah.
Iowa State they'll lose. Baylor they're going to lose. Utah they're going to lose. TCU they're going to lose. UCF they should beat. Do you see 7 wins here? I don't see 7 wins here.
Yeah, I don't either.
No.
There's a book in Vegas, Circa it's at -5. Now we don't have access to that. But then they have Cincy +7. But we got it in at -5. What did we get it? -5.5 or 6?
Yesterday it was the line was at -6.5 yesterday. I like -5.5 being better. I mean, that's just giving us more points.
Right.
That's why I said it was like the pizza lean on the -6.5.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look back on that one. Let's move on to Colorado. Colorado here, prime time. Georgia Tech, Delaware, Houston, Wyoming, BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Utah, Arizona, West Virginia, Arizona State, and Kansas State. No way you make it to 6 games.
No, I'm taking the under.
Yeah.
Like I said, we talked about them last night in our video. Like Colorado's got a lot of turnover, and it's going to take them some time for sure. And I think this is probably a down year for them. So yeah, and we already said week 1 our bet was Georgia Tech minus the points, -4.
Yep.
So that's one loss right there. Yeah, so I'm taking the under as well.
Yeah, I think he bounced back against Delaware, of course, but Houston, I don't see them winning that, or that's going to be definitely a close game because it's at Houston. Wyoming,
Yeah.
BYU, again, that's going to be a tough one where they host. They lose to TCU. That's not even a contest. They lose to Iowa State. Again, that's not going to be a contest either.
Yeah, they're gonna lose the Utah
and Utah, right? They probably beat
and Arizona.
They beat
Arizona State in week 11. They'll lose to them too.
Right.
They could probably beat WVU. They could probably beat Arizona. Maybe.
Yeah.
Arizona, maybe.
See that I calculate as 5 then.
Delaware.
Wyoming
4. And then that Houston game, I think, is they could probably win that one. That one's kind of a toss up though, but it's at Houston.
Yeah,
maybe.
If they lose
same
to Houston,
same with WVU. WVU, I think, is kind of like a toss up for them too.
But if they lose to Houston, look out!
Yeah,
that could be winner chicken dinner already. Well, not even in the middle of September. Let's move on to, of course, Iowa State. We already saw them play earlier against Kansas State, which we won. So they're 1-0 right now. There, Shano.
Yeah,
and we picked them at plus 140 last week. Their total, of course, is 8.5 over plus 128, under it minus 158. No way they get to 9.
No, there's no way here. Not with this schedule. They already have one though.
They do have one. They do have one, but I don't see them getting 9.
No, it's a pretty tough schedule here. What do you get? Is it Iowa State there, week 3?
No, they got Iowa. They got Iowa week 3.
Iowa. Sorry, Iowa, not Iowa State.
And then what is that? Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Arizona. They can go 5-0, but then that's where they could even go 6-0. They beat Cincy.
Yeah, they could beat Cincy for sure.
They could beat Colorado.
They're gonna beat Cincy. They're gonna beat Colorado. They should beat BYU. Arizona State is going to be a tough one. TCU is going to be tough. Kansas, I would say should beat. OSU, they should beat. No, maybe they can't get the 9.
They probably might go. This is interesting. I stand corrected. It's at 8.5. Over, it's at plus money. All right, let's put some pizza on that.
Kansas State there to beat. Yeah.
Let's put some pizza on that. We get a double check.
I would put some pizza on the over. I'm not super confident one way or another on this one, but I think the over is worth some value here.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule and talking about it.
Yeah. That's interesting. That is interesting. I mean, just to get to 9+ wins, if we're looking at just 9, because you can have a push there. For Iowa State, it's plus 130. So you only get 20 cents more.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much this, what we're saying in here. But yeah. Oh, Shano, it's gone up. It's at plus 132.
Nice.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I think that's worth some pizza.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. On that. I'm going to do it. I did it. A little pizza on that. All right, let's move on to, of course, Kansas. Real quick, we got Kansas. Odds 7.5. It's over under. It's pretty much the same here at minus 110. You got Fresno State. They won Fresno, so they're 1. They're 1-0, right?
1-0.
And then they have
one of our other bets that we bet on Kansas game for week 0.
Well, we did the over on that, yeah?
Right.
Yeah. So they have, of course, Missouri, West Virginia, Cincy, UCF, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Arizona, Iowa State, and, of course, Utah. 8 games? No.
They're not going to beat Iowa State. They're not going to beat Texas Tech. They're not going to beat Utah. That's 3 right there. So that would be 9-3. And then is there one more game they're going to lose?
I think they split, or I think in this round they lose to Kansas State.
I can see that.
I think that's an upset right there. Because Kansas State fought pretty hard.
Yeah. That gets you to 8-4.
They barely squeak by, but I don't know. I think, wow. I think they're a 7-5 team. I think the kicker kills you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Stay away from that. Speaking of that, Kansas State next. Odds again, 7.5, over at plus 112, under at minus 138. Army, they have. North Dakota, they already lost, Shano, to Iowa State, as we just talked about. Arizona, UCF, Baylor, TCU, Kansas, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Utah, and Colorado.
That's a tough schedule. So go get into 8. They should beat Army.
They should beat Army, but I don't know. I just don't know. Arizona,
true.
they win. UCF, they win. I don't think they show up to Baylor.
No, especially at that Baylor, they're not going to win that. Same with Utah. It's at Utah.
Yeah.
Those are 2 losses.
Yeah,
those are 2 losses for sure. TCU's tough. They'll probably lose to TCU. They'll probably Oklahoma State is probably a win. You just said they could probably beat Kansas. Kansas State could probably beat Kansas there.
Yeah.
So that's a win. Texas Tech, I don't see them beating Texas Tech either. After losing to Iowa State, I don't see them losing. I don't see them beating Texas Tech.
No, not at all. Not at all. I agree with you on that one. Yeah. Let's move forward to, of course, Oklahoma State real quick. Oklahoma State. Oops. Let's see here. Sorry about that. There we go. Oklahoma State at 4.5. And you can see there, guys, on screen. 4.5 over at minus 205. That's changed. Under at plus 164.
That's a heavy favorite for the over there. Minus 205.
A huge heavy favorite. I don't even want to touch it.
Yeah, that's a huge heavy favorite. And I don't see them getting to 6. So it's not like it's worth.
No.
Betting
they get to 5.
I think they get to 5. Yeah. But I don't like them getting to 6. Like the other ones we're saying maybe bumped up to 9 wins. This one I would keep it the same, but at minus 205 I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's go to. We talked about. We did not talk about TCU. Another odds-on favorite there, Shano. Odds team total there at 6.5, over at minus 170, under at plus 138. Excuse me. North Carolina. So that's going to be the key against Belichick. I'm going to tell you now. Yeah. I don't think, and I don't know why the graphic says noon there. So that looks like a misprint right there. It looks like producer Mark is telling me that in my ear that is wrong on the time. So I don't even think they beat Carolina. I think Carolina outclasses TCU.
And then they have SMU week 3.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So that's 1 and 2 right there. Arizona State is week 4.
Arizona State in week 4.
And it's at Arizona State.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough schedule for first 4 weeks. That's a pretty tough schedule the first 4 weeks.
And then Baylor week 7, or game 7, I should say, right?
Yeah. Baylor game 7.
Iowa State game 9.
Iowa State's tough. Yep, Iowa State's tough. But they end with Cincy and they end with Houston. They can beat them. They should beat BYU, I would think. They should beat West Virginia. That's 4. Kansas State, they could probably beat. That's 5. Colorado, I think they beat. That'd be 6. And then ACU, that'd be 7.
Yeah,
so I could see
but that's right close. I see them. It might be close, either BYU or Houston. I think it'll be close. One of them will I don't know. It depends on what we see on Monday. I'm not
Yeah.
touching this at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it either. And that's not an easy schedule for first 4 weeks outside of ACU. ACU they should beat.
Yeah.
But SMU and Arizona State back to back. Woo.
That's
That's
tough.
That's tough.
Yeah. Last three teams here, Shano's UCF. Let's look at them. Wow. I don't even want to spend a second on this team. Look at that. Jackson State, Carolina, K-State, or Kansas State, I should say, Kansas, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Baylor, Houston, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and BYU. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it, man.
I don't either. I don't see them getting a 9.
Yeah.
I don't see them getting a 9 here.
Let's go to Utah. We've covered Utah. Let's go to our last team, at West Virginia. A team that you thought was going to be pretty good, or has been pretty good in the past, and now just the wheels definitely fall off the wagon here.
I just remember, like, back in the day, like, West Virginia used to have, like, always had a decent squad. Remember, like, that's what I remember the old Pat White days?
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Rich Rodriguez. Remember him?
Yeah. I don't know what happened to West Virginia.
Their head coach. They used to always have a decent team, and then lately, like the last decade, I feel like they haven't been really good lately.
I'll tell you what happened to West Virginia. There are too many of those first downs. Anytime they get a first down, they do the, clap first down. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And then they have the little keys. Warm up the bus. Yeah, I don't know. So
the odds right on this screen, I think it's wrong. It says odds 8.5.
Yeah,
the win total.
That's what
that can't be right. If it's the win total is 8.5.
No, it's
smash the over now.
That's a misprint.
Okay,
it's 5.5.
Yeah, like 5.5. 5.5 sounds more realistic.
Yeah,
but I was like, if it's 8.5, smash the under right away.
Yeah, 5.5. Right here, over 5.5 at plus 124. The under 5.5 is minus 152. So sorry about that. That's a mistake there. You got to understand the chaps over in England when they do this. They, they're eating fish and chips over there, I guess. Yeah, but the schedule is right. I'll tell you that. Robert Morris, Ohio, Pitt. I don't know, man. 5.5. I don't see they get into 6 games here. I think they lose. I think they lose to Pitt.
Yeah, they'll lose the Pitt. They'll lose there. They'll lose to Arizona State. They'll lose to Texas Tech. TCU. They should lose too.
I think Prime takes care of them too.
Yeah,
towards the end
especially that's later in the year.
Yeah.
That's later in the year. Yep. He should have them more together by then.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see the over. I think they're right at 5.
That's tough. That's tough. So that concludes, of course, our Big 12 breakdown. We still have one more conference that we have to do, of course, in the Big 10, and we will cover that. And I did reach out to our other handicapper, of course, the Wise Man, and he's going to give us a call. He is, of course, with his folks in Michigan, so he's doing some recon work, as they say. So he's studying up on that, and we'll get him on the air shortly and discuss, of course, Big 10. Shano, before we go, who do you have for the whole enchilada to win the Big 12?
After looking at their schedules and stuff like that, I kind of like. Let me go back through it again here. I kind of like Texas Tech. Kind of like that. Yeah. I think Baylor's schedule is pretty tough. ASU is pretty tough. What do you think?
Baylor. I don't think Baylor has a chance, to be honest with you.
As I said, their schedule is pretty tough. Baylor's is.
I do like Texas Tech, but I'm going to go with a sleeper here. I'm going to go with. I'll agree with you on Texas Tech, and then a little pizza money on Iowa State.
I can see Iowa State doing it.
Plus 800.
Iowa State looked pretty good over there in Dublin. So
Yeah.
I think they have a shot here.
I think
sure.
they go. I think they. Well, they're 1-0, and you can see better. The screen is the Iowa State schedule is on the screen there. They're 1-0. They already took care of Kansas State in Dublin, so they make them 1-0. But then the next 5 games.
Yeah, they got a pretty easy schedule at the beginning of the whole season there. Yeah,
not even 5. The next 7 games. If they go Shano 8-0, I think they got a shot.
Yeah, they got a shot for sure.
I think they got a shot. They might even win in a perfect world. 10-2.
Yeah,
and play for the title. You know.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have a shot for sure. I mean at plus 800, that's pretty good odds there.
So I'm going to do a little pizza. Yeah, I'm going to go a little pizza money. Producer Mike, executive producer Mike, is putting money down on this. Look at that. The reason why I'm saying Iowa State, hear me out there, Shano. Arizona State has to play at Iowa State. That's going to be a tough match, and it depends on what time that's going to be. If they beat them, I think they run the table because after that they got TCU, another tough team. Don't get me wrong on that. So they either split that between the two. If they win both, it's over. It's over.
Oh, yeah. If they win both, they got it locked up.
Right. And then they have Kansas at home and then at Oklahoma State. I think they win those. So that's why I'm saying 10. I like the over here, and we did put some pizza on that at plus 134, I believe, earlier.
Yeah, we said bet the over because we were saying you even said that when we were doing the just talking about this here.
Yeah.
Said, look at 9.5 maybe.
Yeah.
Look at over 9.5.
Yeah.
So think about it, see what the odds are. Maybe put a little bit on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10. I could see them getting to 10 for sure. Yeah, so Iowa State might be a good bet there for a conference champ.
I'm gonna go pizza on that. At what they have,
eight times your money there, plus 800.
Yeah, 8-1, looking good, Billy Ray. You know, looking good. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna hop off here. We still have a lot of stuff to cover. We had some Redskins news that we talked about earlier this week. We're gonna share that with you. Some more of the. Today in sports, we're going to release that. I'll have my soccer bets in the EPL as well as the lower leagues. And that is currently in production. So that should be releasing tomorrow and then definitely Friday. So we'll have some La Liga. We'll have Serie A, the lower leagues. And of course, my MLS picks. And then we get ready, Shano, for Saturday. We're at Glory Days.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. Glory Days, always great food, great fun, great atmosphere. TVs all over the joint.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that primetime game on Saturday night is a banger. The banger. Must watch.
Definitely must watch. So it'll be LSU taking on the Tigers of Clemson.
The Battle of the Tigers.
Yeah. The numbers are still coming in there, Shano. So we'll record, of course, Friday live. So check in if you can, only on YouTube, to see what our bets are. But again, we start tomorrow, and we start early, Shano. Boise State, 5:30.
Yeah. Boise State, 5:30 at South Florida. Check out our other videos. We went over all of our picks for tomorrow and Friday's games. So tomorrow and Friday, check them out. They're posted on there. We picked 2 games, 2 best bets for each day. So check them out, and hopefully we all win some money together.
Absolutely. So we'll sign off here. Good luck to everybody, and hit that subscribe button and start winning with Just Win Bets, baby. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.